position. Look at the... I'll tell you what, that's Adam Carroll. We told you he has been very impressive. Hasn't driven in a race in 14 months, and this kid's been impressive.
Well, and Michael Andretti spotted him when Michael Andretti's team was running over an A1 GP, and Marco was doing some driving. He was very impressed with Adam Carroll and followed him throughout the races over there. Thought that he would like to get him over to IndyCar. When I spoke to Adam, he said what a treat that is to come over here and race with such a great team, learning new tracks. He said it is very difficult. He's got a great line right now. Tracy's just up in front of him. Got to get on the gas. Got to get a shot for drafting here. Very talented, never been on an oval track, so if he gets a full-time ride next year, that'll be the difficulty for Adam Carroll.
So, Jamie, what's the latest on this 27-year-old driver from Northern Ireland?
Well, he's doing a heck of a job. I'll tell you, Marty, it's been 14 months since he's been in a race car, and he's just listening to his crew right now. The communication has been great. Michael Andretti is his strategist, and they said, okay, listen, we need to save some fuel right now, but today it's all about having fun, complete the laps, keep doing what you're doing. So far, so good for Adam Carroll.
He is doing very well right now, holding station. But
this is where you want to get it done. Coming back up onto the old circuit, accelerate hard. You're coming up through turns 10 and 11. If you can have the opportunity to get close to the car in front, that's when you get a draft down the front stretch.
Well, let's get an update on Paul Tracy from Rick DeBrule.
Talk about the fact, surprisingly, this last year when Paul Tracy came to Watkins Glen, that was the first time he had ever raced at that track. Even though he's just from across the border, he never was able to race here because he was younger than 18.
Well, young Adam Carroll at age 27 is getting an education on what Paul Tracy can really drive like. That's Milka Duno slow on the right side as they go flying by her. he will not give you an inch, and Adam is finding that out.
And Paul Tracy goes a little bit wide just coming out of the turn. He knows it, goes to make his normal run over and says, excuse me, pardon me, but not today.
How about the view from Adam Carroll's perspective?
He sees the opportunity and rightly takes it, gets up there, thinks that, okay, but he's never dealt with Paul Tracy before.
Well, it's a good thing he got out of the throttle, because if they'd have touched wheels, he would have been bumped right off the track. So this battle continues. It is for 10th on the racetrack. You're not missing anything up front. Will Power still is leading. Ryan Briscoe and Dario Franchitti, the top three, have checked out on 4th place.
And Paul is driving that car to 12 tenths, not just 11 tenths, but locking the brakes up as he did. And Adam Carroll knows that he can get a shot to go past him. He just has to be patient. Cannot take himself out. Michael Andretti's already told him on the radio, just go and enjoy it again.
Mutoh trying to size him up as well.
Always want to take advantage of restarts because the cars are bunched together. These guys will spread up quite quickly. Adam Carroll right now looking to get a draft going down the front stretch here. On the tail, Hideki Mutoh, will he have a shot at doing it? Not this time.
A single file at this stage.
Hopefully on the back end it'll pay off.
Well, we're right at halfway at 30 laps, so he's going to have to stop one more time. We'll see if that pays off for him. Right now, the race lead belongs to Will Power, and if he can make the fuel economy that he is, we think that he might be able to sneak it on home with one more stop. And one bad news to report, Alex Lloyd is out of the race. Jamie, you've caught up with him?
Yes, we have. He's out of the car. In his pit box, we heard you mention something about steering, that it couldn't steer anymore. What happened?
Yeah, we think we're not entirely sure. We think we may have a steering rack problem. Yeah, we started having some strange things happening after the first pit stop, and then we came in and thought we'd change tires to see if that cured it. Then all of a sudden the steering locked, and it
rear of another car, then it's usually the front end that takes the suffering on that.
As you finish up that point, take a look at Marias, Kanan, Andretti. We go on board with Adam Carroll. He's in 9th. And the other three that we just talked about are right in front of him. This is a great battle on the racetrack.
You can see how hard these drivers are pushing the cars, because there's one prime line that you're trying to, the turning point, the clipping point at the apex and the exit, and you can see these guys driving in so hard sometimes as Marco Andretti wants to let his teammate Tony Kanaan know that I'm here. He's trying to fill up his mirrors, but these guys are sometimes running a different line through some of the turns only from the fact that they're trying to push the car so hard sliding underneath them.
I think Marco's trying to tell Tony, I'm faster, let me through.
Absolutely. He's been doing that for quite a few laps. Probably a little frustration on his side.
Well, that was Mario Moraes leading this pack of 5. Right behind him is Kanaan, Andretti. Now Justin Wilson has gotten around Adam Carroll. Head down into turn number 1. There you see Wilson right in front of Carroll. Back on board with the 27-year-old from Northern Ireland. Let's look a little bit further back. We had this battle going on right before the break. And there's Mario Moraes. He has got a great run going as well. He is up to 5th. His best finish so far this year was 6th back at Long Beach.
And Marco Andretti came up the hill, almost ran into the back of Tony Kanaan, had to lock the brakes up. And that in turn has put Justin Wilson right on his tail, running a bit of a defensive line through 10 and 11. Although I do think Marco is a little bit quicker at this time.
One car taking a dive into pit lane. We saw that in the back there. And it looks like it's actually Takuma Sato that has come into pit lane. And Danica Patrick is following as well. Let's send it to Rick de Bruyne.
Yeah, Danica Patrick bringing it in. They're going to put on the red alternate tires. She's been running with a higher downforce setting. She wanted a more comfortable car, but apparently at higher downforce, perhaps not as much speed, more comfort. They do make a change on the right front wing, and she's out.
Sato also comes out behind her. There you can see out the rear view. There he is coming down pit lane as well. So they'll rejoin the battle. We'll sort out their positions. And look at the action that we still have going as Adam Carroll is fighting with Justin Wilson. That is for 8th position as they head into the toe of the boot. Climb up that hill. It's about 60 to 75 feet from the base of the boot all the way up to that top. Carroll takes a peek on the inside of turn 8, says, nah, I better not try it right now, and ends up costing him a little bit more distance on the exit.
Very difficult to pass Justin Wilson with all his road course experience that he has of various tracks around the world. One of the smoothest drivers you'll ever see pilot a race car around the circuit. Just watch how close he gets to the lines. Uses up all the distance to the racetrack, and as Adam Carroll then peels in for his pit stop.
So Adam Carroll, he is the very first pit stall on entry, and the Boost team goes to work. Now, he is not scheduled to race at Toronto in 2 weeks. Uh-oh, trouble on the right rear.
Difficulty, and we see that the Reds they took off, they're going on with brand new black tires, the standard tire.
And while all this is going on, he comes back out onto the racetrack. And we can tell you, you see back Briscoe, Franchitti, Matos in 4th. Great run for him, and Moraes in 5th. Look at this battle. And that is Adam Carroll all over Takuma Sato. And that is for position on the racetrack. The battle for 16th coming down the stripe. And a good run for both those drivers. Sato's first trip here, as well as Adam Carroll. So Sato comes across officially in 15th, Carroll in 16th. And there is the captain.